Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out Confession. Story 1. I stole blue tack out of posters in my primary school. Everyone was doing it, the posters were everywhere and you stole enough blue tack out it under wanted in the bathrooms. On the way to the bathrooms what's when most of us stole it. Anyways, if you put it under water it would get soft and then not long after blue tack got completely banned. Story 2. Scratched my sister's car that we share, and lie about it. English not my first language, bear with me. One day I was driving my sister and me car, we share, it's a small black sedan but anyway. I was trying to park in a busy car park and accidentally misjudged the park and scratched just above the wheel arch of the other car and the front bumper near the headlight of my sister and my car. There was no structural damage or dent on either as I was going so slowly and just a few little scratch on the paint. I lied for it and said I didn't do it and maybe someone else hit the car. I also left the scene of the crime and did nothing about the other car. I think though there was very minimal damage to it and would not cost much to get fixed and maybe only a cosmetic issue. But a mutual friend of my sister and me happened to be there at the worst time and saw everything. She keep bringing it up with me, mutual friend, as a joke, and I'm scared truth will come out to my sister and mom and dad and I will be in trouble. Although it was a bad mistake, I am guilty for lying for it all this time. It happened a few months ago, so I hope they've forgotten. Thank you for reading. Be the first to comment. Nobody's responded to this post yet. Add your thoughts and get the conversation going. Story 3. I fooled the lunch staff into thinking I was stupid and spilling ice cream. I have to get this off my chest because I find it really funny, but if I told any of my family members I know I would get yelled at even at 21y/0 now. I, 21, was not given much lunch money growing up. My mom would pack my lunch every day and tried her best to deter me and my siblings from eating sweets, hence why she never put that much money in our lunch accounts. I was definitely a bit bigger for my age at the time, in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, and I had and still have a vicious sweet tooth. Being the devious little shit I am, I brewed up the perfect plan. At least 10 different times from 3-5th grade, I would go into the school lunchroom and purchase a vanilla ice cream cone with chocolate sprinkles using the little money I had in my lunch account. I was always very sweet and polite to the lunch ladies even when I didn't buy food because that's just the way I was raised. Well, after buying my ice cream I would go sit in the corner of the cafeteria and wolf down my cone as fast I can without being overly suspicious. Each and every time after devouring the ice cream cones, I would walk back into the lunch line either crying or pouting and tell the lunch ladies that I dropped my ice cream cone and wasn't able to eat it. Every single time I did this I got to get another ice cream cone to replace the one I had dropped. Now that I'm older I feel horrible for what I did, but I also giggle and laugh to myself about how desperate and fat I was as a little kid to go up and lie to the lunch ladies just to get a second ice cream cone for free. I also don't know how I was never caught tbh, but shout out to those lunch ladies that gave me a free cone without even questioning my story. Either they thought I was stupid or they were the real ogs. Story 4. I stole money from my workplace for 4 years straight. Across my 4 years at university, I worked as a waiter at a chain of restaurants. The owner was an asshole and only kept me because I was willing to work late shifts. He had a reputation for sexually harassing employees. Every day, I would mess with a few cash transactions and pocket the difference. For example, if a customer's bill was $30, I would take 30 from the customer and then remove a few items, which reduces the bill's total. The new total would be 20, and as far as the POS system was aware, the 20 bill was successfully closed with 20 in cash. I pocketed the 10 difference. I did this a few times a day, 4 days a week. I would pocket approximate $500 a month, which adds up over 4 years. Because I cashed up, I was able to ensure there was no suspicious transactions or issues. I was never caught on camera as the till was above a shelf where we kept personal belongings. This meant it was easy to leave the money around and then stash it into my bag or jacket across the day. If I ever did get caught, My plan was to blackmail my manager as I had evidence of his sexual harassment in the form of WhatsApp message screenshots sent to me from female colleagues. I would threaten to tell his wife too. FYI, I was not stealing from the customer, they were always charged correctly. I stole from the restaurant. In fact, I would give customers insane discounts if they were decent with me. Story 5. I sht in the bathroom trash bin out of fear that it would either clog the toilet or flood back up the shower drain. About a year ago, I was visiting my mother. I'm her eldest daughter, live with my father, and come to visit her on breaks. The house was having plumbing issues and she had mentioned that flushing the toilet too many times or using too much toilet paper would cause the same water to come up out of the drain of the shower. With this knowledge, everyone in the house was careful with how many times we used the bathroom and throwing the toilet paper away in the bin, and not flushing it. I was helping my mom cook. I'm Hispanic on my mom's side, so we were cooking arroz con gandules, pollo guisado, and yuca. Mind you, I've got stomach issues. Like really bad stomach issues. IBS, milk, eggs, and anything with too much oil/grease fucks with my bowels, and hell unleashes out of my hole. The yuca basically f***ed with my stomach and I ended up having really bad diarrhea. I was worried that my she*t would clog something or come back up through the drain of the shower, and I wasn't confident that I'd make it to the grocery store a couple of miles from the house. So, I did what I had to do. I squat over the trash bin and unleashed the Kraken. After my bathroom conundrum, I had to run over to the kitchen to grab a new bag for the trash bin so I could take that one out and throw it away so no one could see what I'd done. But I wasn't fast enough. My little sister screamed from the bathroom. I was too late, she knew. She swore to take it to her grave for a maximum payment of a $10 Robux gift card. Now my fellow Redditors, you too must take it to your grave. Story 6. I broke my younger sister's tablet when I was a teenager to get away with breaking my own. We had both just gotten tablets, they were cheap quality and just overall not very good, and I accidentally sat on mine and broke it. I knew I was going to get in a load of trouble and I had an idea. I broke my sister's and laid it down on the floor so that it looked like it had just fallen. When she found it, she was upset and scared that she would get in trouble, but I just said they must be faulty. Mine broke also. I never told her the truth. Story 7. Mum caught me masturbating and I lied about it. OMG. So, I was beating my meat. Well, not really BCZ, you can't beat your meat if you're a girl. Anyway, Mum caught me masturbating and she said, "Oi, what are you doing?" And I said, "I'm really itchy, sorry." Then she gave me SMTH to put on my, no. It was so annoying. BCZ, I had my door open a little bit and I didn't hear her come out of her room. Ajishjseeb. Story 8. I fought a special needs kid and was never caught. So, backstory. I am a 6 feet 1 inch 165 pounds 14-year-old, and this kid is like 90 to 100 pounds 13-year-old, so obviously no fight would be a fair fight. This kid was very high functioning but a little autistic, but I consider him to not be impaired at all. So this kid, I'll call him Roger, has an inexplicable hate for me. I believe it's because I accidentally tripped him on one of the first few days we knew each other. He hated my guts beyond your imagination because I wouldn't feed into his attempted bullying. He knocked over my drink 2 days in a row, and I just didn't say anything because it's probably an accident or his special needs. The 3rd day in a row, I knew it was no accident. So I brought some good double-sided tape and taped it down. He hit it as expected, and it didn't fall over. He was mad now, so he potted his revenge. Every time he saw me he tried to trip me and even lied to my friends about me, nearly ruining my relationship with my GF, and almost got me in trouble for harassment, but everyone said he was lying. The worst thing he did, was he managed to steal my phone while it was on, ran into the women's bathroom, and was about 2 clicks from sending literal hardcore porn to my mother. At this point I had enough, so I contacted the principal and he just told me, and I quote, "He's special needs, we legally cannot do anything to him, even if he did what you claim he did. So I formed a plan. He had mentioned wanting to fight a few times, he thought he could just punch me in the balls, so I shoved him in the hallway to make him ask for a fight. As expected, he said, "Do you want to fight, you little prick? I swear your balls will regret it." I responded with, "Sure, let's go out to the field, we can settle this right now." I don't think he expected me to say yes, but was too prideful to back down. So now, with no people watching, we squared up and as expected I absolutely destroyed him. I pushed him to the ground, kneeled on his chest while scratching his arms with my inhumanly long fingernails, then picked him up over my head and did a rep with him, before dropping him 6 feet down onto the grass. I then proceeded to step on his chest, tell him that if anyone hears of this then death will be too good for him, and I walked away. I would do it again, but it's nice to get off of my chest. Story 9. I direct people to changing rooms when they're unattended. I'm a patient husband. I'll wait while my wife tries on clothes without any complaint. But in some clothing stores, the waiting area is partially embedded in the changing rooms themselves. As I'm sure any husbands or boyfriends here will agree, the wait can be dull. So, in the case that they don't have an attendant present, I will pretend I work here and direct people to changing rooms, counting how many items they have. If people come out to check themselves in full-length mirrors, I'll offer encouragement as to how good they look, guy or girl. It's a little bit insane how trusting people are without a uniform. Pick related, it's me sitting in a Spanish changing room RN. Number of people directed, 3. Number of compliments offered, 1. https://i.mgur.com/tv6p7gq.jpg. Edit, today, I went to a water park. I bought a liquid tea to stop my pasty skin from burning. It was park branded. My game moved to a whole new level. God help me anytime I stood solo with my arms folded waiting for my wife to do something. Number of times I said I don't work here, 8. Story 10. I always buy the fancy most expensive apples at the grocery store but never pay for them. I have memorized the code, 4131, for the apples that are always the cheapest and I always use self-checkout. I haven't paid full price for my fancy apples in over 10 years. Story 11. I used to steal Adderalls from a tenant at apartments I used to work at. I used to work as a maintenance guy about a year and a half ago at some apartments. One time I was doing a work order and happened to look over and see this huge bottle of Adderalls the tenant had, following another smaller script next to it. It was a 90-day script. I was in a very active Adderall addiction, 6 months sober. So after I saw that I went above the same day and took a few. Then there was about 10 more times over a 4-month period I did it again. I was so fiended out I studied the tenant's car and his schedule. When I'd see them leave I'd execute right there, grab the keys, and take a few days worth of them. I don't know how they never noticed or what. After my last time doing it I took like 7 and got really freaked out debating on taking them back, thinking he finally may notice. Never heard anything luckily. What made me stop was a mushroom trip shortly after that, making me realize how terrible that is to do to someone. I have never done it after that last time and I still think about and feel so bad. Especially because I have never stolen from someone before, especially at that type of level. Realizing how much trouble I could get in and how morally wrong it is, made me stop. To that person out there I did that to, I am so sorry. You will never know that happened to you, and you didn't deserve that. Thanks for listening. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.